Ever wondered why the selection process in any organization is so crucial? Imagine an orchestra with all the right instruments, but the musicians are all playing different tunes. Sounds chaotic, right? That's essentially what happens when an organization doesn't have a proper selection process in place. A well-structured selection process is like a conductor guiding the orchestra, ensuring each musician plays the right note at the right time. In the context of an organization, it ensures that the right candidate who meets the organization's requirements is chosen efficiently. And just like a harmonious orchestra, an organization with well-selected employees can create beautiful music, or in this case, achieve its goals seamlessly. But what makes a selection process proper? It's not just about cherry-picking candidates based on their resume. It's a systematic approach that includes stages like preliminary screening, selection tests, employment interviews, reference and background checks, selection decision, medical examination, job offer, and finally, the contract of employment. The process begins with a preliminary screening, where applications are sieved through to filter out those who do not meet the basic qualifications. It's akin to a sieve filtering out larger particles, ensuring only the most suitable candidates move forward. Then comes the selection tests, a series of aptitude, personality, and trade tests. These tests are like the auditions for musicians, assessing their potential, emotional and psychological traits, as well as their technical knowledge and skills. The employment interview, reference, and background check are next in line. These steps are like the final rehearsals before the grand performance, validating the authenticity of the candidates and their suitability for the job. Once these steps are cleared, the final selection decision is made, much like a conductor finalizing their orchestra. The chosen candidate then undergoes a medical examination, accepts the job offer, and finally signs the contract of employment, cementing their place in the organization's symphony. In essence, a proper selection process is a well-conducted symphony, where each step plays a crucial note, leading to a harmonious performance. A well-structured selection process is the key to a successful hiring, which ultimately leads to the growth of the organization. The first step in the selection process is the preliminary screening. Now think of this as the gatekeeper of the process. It's here that we sift through all the applications received from candidates, inspecting them thoroughly to ensure they meet the basic qualifications for the job. Imagine a sieve that filters out the grains from the chaff. That's what the preliminary screening does. It helps us eliminate those who do not meet the basic criteria, the unqualified candidates. It's not about being harsh, it's about being practical. There are certain skills, qualifications, or experiences that are fundamental to the job. If a candidate doesn't possess these, it's unlikely they'll be able to perform effectively in the role. This initial screening is a vital part of the process, as it helps to narrow down the pool of applicants to those who are most qualified. It's the first step towards ensuring that the right person lands the job. This initial screening helps to narrow down the pool of applicants to those who are most qualified. After preliminary screening, candidates undergo various selection tests. Now let's delve deeper into these tests and understand their purpose and impact on the selection process. One of the most common tests is the aptitude test. This is designed to measure a candidate's potential and intelligence. It's not just about what they already know, but how quickly they can learn and adapt to new situations. These tests often include logical reasoning, problem solving, and numerical ability questions. The aim is to identify candidates who are quick thinkers and possess the mental agility needed for the role. Next up, we have personality tests. Now, these aren't about judging whether someone is a good or bad person. Rather, they aim to measure emotional and psychological traits. Questions may be framed to understand a candidate's temperament, stress handling capabilities, leadership qualities, or team spirit. The goal here is to gain insights into how a candidate might behave in different situations, and whether their personality aligns with the job's requirements and the organization's culture. Finally, we come to trade tests. These are specifically designed to evaluate a candidate's technical knowledge and skills. For instance, a programmer might be asked to write a code, or a chef might be asked to prepare a dish. These tests directly assess whether the candidate possesses the practical skills necessary for the job. They are particularly crucial for roles where specific technical expertise is a prerequisite. So in a nutshell, selection tests serve as a multifaceted tool to gauge a candidate's suitability for a role. Aptitude tests assess potential and intelligence. Personality tests help understand emotional and psychological traits, and trade tests evaluate technical knowledge and skills. Together, these tests provide a comprehensive understanding of a candidate's capabilities and fit for a role. Remember, the aim isn't to stress out candidates, but rather to ensure that the right person is chosen for the job. A well-rounded candidate who excels in all these tests is likely to be a valuable asset to any organization. These tests further filter candidates, leaving only those who possess the required skills and traits. The next steps involve a more personal interaction and critical decision-making. Moving on to the third step, we have the employment interview. This is where the candidate gets the chance to sit down, either physically or virtually, with the employer or hiring panel. It's a face-to-face interaction that goes beyond the resume and tests. The main goal here is to assess the candidate's interpersonal skills, behavior, and overall suitability for the job. It's not just about what they know, but how they communicate and interact, how they handle pressure, and how they could potentially fit into the team. Now, let's shift gears to the fourth step, the reference and background check. You might think of this as the detective stage of the process. The employers reach out to the candidate's provided references, which could be previous employers, colleagues, or even professors. They ask questions about the candidate's previous job history, qualifications, and personal conduct. The intent here is to validate the information the candidate has provided and to get a sense of their reliability and integrity. It's like a fact-checking mission, ensuring that the candidate is genuine and authentic. And finally, we come to the fifth step, the selection decision. This is the culmination of all the previous stages, the moment of truth, if you will. The employers have all the information they need: the resume, the tests, the interview insights, and the reference checks. Now it's time to make the decision. The candidate who best fits the job requirements and has proven to be the most suitable during the process is selected. It's a critical decision that is based on a comprehensive understanding of the candidate's abilities, potential, and compatibility with the company's culture and values. These steps ensure that the candidate is not only qualified, but also fits well within the organization. Remember, the goal is not just to fill a position, but to find the right person for the job who will contribute positively to the team and the organization. The final stages of the selection process involve medical checks and formalizing the employment. Let's kick off with the medical examination. Once a candidate has been selected, they usually undergo a thorough medical examination. This isn't just a routine health checkup, but a comprehensive evaluation designed to affirm that the candidate is physically fit to perform the job. The specifics of these examinations can vary based on the nature of the job. For instance, a firefighter might need to pass rigorous physical tests, while an accountant might only need a basic health screening. The medical examination isn't merely a formality. It's a crucial step that ensures the candidate can safely and effectively carry out their job responsibilities. It also protects the organization from potential liabilities related to health issues that might impact the employee's work performance. Next comes the job offer. After all the checks and assessments, the candidate is extended a formal job offer. This isn't just a "hey, you got the job" kind of deal. It's a comprehensive document that details everything about the role. It outlines the job responsibilities, the salary package, benefits, and the terms and conditions of employment. This job offer serves as the foundation for the employment relationship. It sets clear expectations for both parties, ensuring there are no misunderstandings down the line. Finally, we arrive at the contract of employment. Once the candidate accepts the job offer, they're required to sign an employment contract. This document is the official agreement between the employee and the employer. It includes all the nitty-gritty details of the job offer, along with any additional terms and conditions. The employment contract is a legal document that safeguards the rights and interests of both parties. It's the final step that cements the candidate's position within the organization, transitioning them from a prospective employee to an official member of the team. These final steps validate the selection and finalize the employment, officially bringing the candidate into the organization. Let's recap what we have learned about the selection process. It all begins with preliminary screening, where applications are sifted through to eliminate those who don't meet the basic job qualifications. Then we move on to selection tests, which include aptitude tests, personality tests, and trade tests, designed to evaluate a candidate's potential, traits, and technical abilities. Next, we have the employment interview, a direct interaction that helps assess the candidate's interpersonal skills and suitability for the job. This is followed by reference and background checks to verify the authenticity of a candidate's provided information. Once these stages are cleared, the selection decision is made. The candidate best fitting the job requirements is chosen. They then undergo a medical examination to ensure physical fitness. Finally, the candidate is given a job offer and signs a contract of employment, confirming their selection. Remember, a well-executed selection process can be the difference between an organization's success and failure.